Dun, 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 dun. And aloha, grand rising, everyone. It is another beautiful Freak Speak Friday here with your host, Arielle Liora, where I show up raw, authentic, unplanned, unscripted, and I speak from the wellspring that is the source within me. I am so happy to be back with you guys. I'm in a new location again today, trying to change it up but still stay outside. And shout out to the first person in the chat, which was Angela Baby Carson, and the Accidental Alchemist, who said that she will be busy today but sends us so much love. So thanks, ladies, for saying hello. And today, we're going to be talking about the truth about discipline. So, if you've ever had any type of thoughts, emotions, feelings, problems with discipline, that's what is on my mind and heart to talk about today. So, we're just going to jump right into it. And of course, on Freak Speak Friday, we always have a dance party at 11:11, 12:12, and whatever other time I'm here. Why do we dance? We dance because we are alive. We dance to celebrate existence. We dance to celebrate our achievements, everything that has brought us to this moment. If you don't feel like you have anything to celebrate, well, that is a problem because that means that you don't actually like your life. You don't love your life. You don't love existence. And I want to encourage you and inspire you to love everything about yourself, love everything about your life, and empower you to make the changes that you know that can propel you forward. So we will definitely be dancing at 11:11. And I'm going to let everybody else come in. So it is a great week. I am over here on Instagram. I should be over here on Instagram, although I don't know why it doesn't look like it. Okay, so the whole Instagram thing is quite interesting. There is a huge lag, it looks like, with Instagram. But I am grateful that I'm still living live. And I'm gonna give a little welcome note here. All right. So if you are tuning in for the first time, let me know. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'd love to know more about my beautiful fairy friends. And let me know what you want to talk about today. If there's something in particular you want to talk about, or if you have any questions for me, just go ahead and drop them in the chat. It's gonna be a great day, you guys. If you can hear me, let me know you can hear me. I am gonna put in my headphones a little later, but for the dance party, I want to be able to hear the music as well. So if I put my headphones in, I won't be able to hear the music when I dance. So that is gonna happen a little bit later. Let me bring up my phone here so that I can also see the chat. Hello to Billingtano. Much love, brother. Hope you are not working too hard. And let me turn off my brightness to let my phone last a little bit longer. All right, and we are off to the races. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so my new location today, I found a table with an umbrella so that my computer is protected from the sun. There's a nice breeze going on, so hopefully you can hear me. And this is completely outside of my comfort zone because this is an area populated by humans that can see me and hear me and judge me if I'm dancing, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm doing it scared. I'm doing it because I am teaching my self-trust that it doesn't matter where, who, when, why, how. I just have to show up as my authentic self, and the universe, most high source, will take care of the rest. Yo, 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 it's Rye Russ and Sufanelli. Yay, Sufanelli's on a walk. Much love, girl. Walk for me too. There's a nice little fountain. You can see. I don't know if you can see, but there's ducks over there in that fountain. So they will get to enjoy the show today. It's 11:06, so we're inching a little bit closer to the 11:11 time frame. And I'm really excited to talk about the truth about discipline today. This is something that I want to talk about for me. This is where my heart and mind have been the last couple of days. And just my thoughts on it, because this is my show and I get to talk about whatever the heck I want to, right? But of course, I appreciate everyone who pops on, because I couldn't do this show without you guys. You guys give me the motivation and the encouragement to keep going, to keep shining, and to keep showing up. So thank you guys for being here every week. I definitely have my core family, and it's awesome. It's awesome to know. So I'm just letting time go by here, little by little, ticking it off until the dance party goes. I am extremely nervous about it this time, again, because I'm in a, it's not like populated. It's not like, oh, there's people everywhere, but there's windows in this building that people could be looking out of. There's people walking, there's people driving. I mean, you just gotta, just gotta get over it, right? Sue Finelli says, I quit my job in the bakery, going back to door dashing until I can find something else. Girl, congratulations. Congratulations. You have so much to be proud of. Don't say yes to anything that doesn't completely ignite your heart, ignite your spirit, that you feel passionate about, that fills you up. We can definitely find jobs like door dashing that are like in the interim, and maybe door dashing will even lead you to the job that you like. I'm not saying that we don't have to work, find something to occupy our time, but we're done being slaves, and that is exactly what we've been conditioned to do. So congratulations to Sue Finale. Big, big, big round of applause for her quitting that freaking job. And the Iron Maiden is in the house. Hey, girl. Hey. Hope your day has been going well. Hope you're feeling good. I'm excited for our chat today. So I appreciate you for popping in, being here as always. Let's see. Bill and Tano says, pretend you're in your underwear and dance like no one is watching, or whatever they say. That saying is. That's funny. Yeah, no, pretending that I'm in my underwear would not help me. Like, I would be even more self-conscious if I was pretending I was in my underwear out here. But I think what you're trying to say is, like, when you're given a speech, they say to pretend that everyone else is in their underwear. Like, basically trying to say that think of your audience as being in a more vulnerable spot than you are, so that you are not the one in a vulnerable spot. So if you're talking to a bunch of people who are in their underwear, they're you're fully dressed, all you got to do is talk to them. They got to sit there shivering in the cold, because most auditoriums are freezing. All right, so we have 1 minute. Uno minuto, minuta, however you say minute in Spanish, until we get to our dance party. Liz says, I had to give up the gym. Relying on my daughter wasn't working. I'm going to try another one closer to home. I've got weights at home. That's perfect. That's all you need is really weights. Getting out of the house is always good, but, we can't always rely on other people. So that's okay. You get to figure it out at home. And that will not stop you from succeeding, Liz. I fully believe in that. And we've got Cammie in the house. Much love, Cammie. Cammie is just in time for the dance party. It's 11:11.
It's a dance party. It's Arielle's dance party. Dance, 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 it's a dance party. It's Arielle's dance party. It's a dance party. It's Arielle's dance party. Dance, 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 dance. It's Arielle's dance party. Dance, 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 dance. It's a dance party. It's Arielle's dance party.
I did it! All right, let me come back. Hello, everyone. I'm going to get my headphones on here, and then I'll be able to check the chat again. Whenever I saw someone, I just turned around so I didn't see them. All right, hold up. Wait a minute. I just put the boogie in it. All right. Can y'all still hear me? Give me a 5x5 in the chat. All right. Cammie says, my home gym is getting pretty intense. Yes, girl. Your at-home gym is freaking amazing. Yay, everybody was dancing. Liz did a YouTube update. They've changed the... Oh, yeah, the wrenches were changed to shields, yeah. Much love, Angela. Happy Friday, Jenny G. Jenny G is now a pasta maker. So cool. Can y'all see me? Is this is it really shadowy? It's like I'm in the shadows now. Let me see if I can turn this way. Can y'all see me a little bit better if I sit in the sun? Oh well, y'all can still hear me, right? That's all that really matters. And my computer has to stay out of the sun, so that's also what matters. Okay, so we're going to jump right into it, everyone. We're going to be talking about the truth about discipline. So before I actually jump into it, I'm interested to know, let me know in the chat, what is your thoughts about discipline? What is your feelings about it? What is your viewpoint on it? Tell me, what does discipline mean to you? Oh my goodness. Jenny's dropping an awesome word of the day. Verkelimp. That's pretty cool. I wanna try to incorporate. Do you like have a website that you use, Jenny, to give you these words of the day? That's awesome. Oh, I'm glad you like the outside streams, Jenny. Yeah, me too. Okay, but back to discipline. Does anybody have want to drop their worldview or viewpoints about what discipline is, how it feels to them, and stuff like that? Billy Tano says discipline equals personal standards. All right, all right. Anybody else? Jenny, I'm writing your word down so I don't forget it. All right, Liz says meaning in doing what you say. Okay, yeah. Oh, Jenny, that's amazing. Yes, words will completely find you because that's what you're into. I love it. You're collecting words, so the words are sending themselves to you. That's freaking awesome. All right, one more time. Anybody else want to say their viewpoint on discipline? Liz says being accountable. All right, I love it. So before I tell you my thoughts, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to look together the definition. I've got a couple of definitions here. All right, so let's start with Webster's Dictionary. Webster's Dictionary says that discipline is control gained by enforcing obedience or order, behavior in accordance with rules or orderly conduct. It also does say self-control. It also says punishment. It says an activity that one engages in regularly to train or improve oneself. And then also a subject that is taught, a field of study, or a rule or system of rules governing conduct or activity. All right, so that's Webster. That is, Merriam-Webster. Let's look at what Cambridge Dictionary has to say. It says that discipline is training that produces obedience or self-control, often in the form of rules and punishments if these are broken, or the obedience or self-control produced by this training. It goes on to say discipline is also the ability to control a mental activity or a particular area of study. That is the noun. It also breaks down discipline as a verb, which is to punish someone. And then back to a noun, it says the practice of making sure that people obey rules and do not cause problems. All right. So, did I start? Yes. Okay. So really, actually I wasn't at the top of the page, so I'm going to just read this again. Training that makes people willing to obey or more able to control themselves, often in the form of rules and punishments if these are broken, or the behavior produced by this training. So far, the idea of discipline is very rigid. It is all about controlling others, even though it does mention controlling yourself. It does say the ability to control yourself or other people, even in difficult situations. We could define it as self-discipline, right? And going back to Webster, Merriam-Webster talks about control gained by enforcing obedience or order, behavior in accordance with rules, right? So when I think about this definition of discipline, it is very rigid. It is completely unflexible. It is strict and demanding in expectations. Discipline is hard in this when I'm reading this, right? And we also talk about to be punished or penalized as a means for enforcing obedience, perfecting moral character. I was disciplined as a child. We talk about disciplining our children, right, in order to keep them on the straight and narrow path. So discipline is there's no room for error, right? I feel like it is very unforgiving. It's pass or fail. Either you do this or you get punished. Either you do this and you don't have to worry about the consequences. You get in line, or there's going to be consequences, right? Jenny says, a teacher of mine used to say, ignorance is bliss, discipline is freedom. Timekeeping when other people are involved. Just say what you mean what you say, and always follow through. Hey, John is in the house. Rye says, sticking to a schedule and working hard at your goals. Sue, always do the dishes. Don't leave the sink full of dishes. Jenny's already ahead of me because I am going to get to the etymology of discipline, which I'll go ahead and follow up now. So discipline. Paternal chastisement, punishment for the sake of correction. Discipline, physical punishment, teaching, suffering, martyrdom. Directly from Latin, which is disciplinia, which is instruction given, teaching, learning, knowledge. Also, object of instruction, knowledge, science. And then we get to the very root of it, discipulus, which is pupil, student, follower, which is what Jenny was getting to. So from pupil, student, follower, it goes to instruction giving, learning, teaching, knowledge. But then it starts to evolve even more into this physical punishment, suffering, martyrdom. Teaching is still in there, but then even further it evolves into chastisement and punishment for the sake of correction. So it started out as a person and evolved into this action. The Latin word is glossed in Old English. The meaning treatment that corrects or punishes is from the notion of order necessary for instruction. The meaning system of rules and regulations from the mid-14th century, meaning branch of instruction or education as attested by the late 14th century. So, we also mentioned that discipline is like an area of study, right? You could say that Jenny's discipline is words. A doctor's discipline could be ear, nose, and throat. A gynecologist, their discipline is female anatomy, right? That is also another way to see it. Hey, Ray, much love, bro. So discipline, the way that it evolved, is very constricting. For me, for a person who has been disciplined and, with these constricting meanings of discipline, it feels completely rigid, unflexible, constricting, unforgiving, meaning that there's no room for error, this pass or fail. And it's just, a word that keeps coming up to my mind is constricting. But a word that is often associated with discipline, which you guys have also brought up, is self-control. So let's go on to self-control, because at first, discipline was being shown as a means of enforcing obedience, right? And it does also mention controlling oneself, like self-discipline, right? But we could also use a different word, self-control. Self-control is restraint exercised over one's own impulses, emotions, or desires, right? The ability to control your emotions and actions. Control over your emotions and actions, self-restraint, right? So if we're going to associate discipline with control of some type, instead of making it about others, making it about ourselves, let's look up self-control. Let's just look up control, because we can, put the self in front of it. So the early 15th century, I really don't want to butcher these names. So it's the check the accuracy of, verify, regulate, to exert authority. From medieval Latin, a counter, a register. From Latin again, it means against. The word apparently comes from a medieval method of checking accounts by a duplicate register. The sense of dominate, direct, exercise control over. So when you're directing it on yourself, right, you have complete control and dominion over your own impulses, your own emotions, your own output, your own outlook. You can restrain yourself, right? Restraint exercise over one's own impulses. So, if we're moving from discipline, which is hard, rigid, it's strict, it's demanding in your expectations. Well, if you're just exhibiting self-control, then you simply have restraint over your own emotions, your own beliefs, your own perceptions, right? Self-control gives you more responsibility, right? And I say all of this because if I can't get with the word discipline, but I can more resonate with self-control, then we come to this word, devotion. Devotion over discipline. So if we're looking at the etymology, well, first, actually, I need to look at the definition. So in Merriam-Webster's dictionary, devotion is religious fervor or piety, an act of prayer or private worship, a religious exercise or practice. The fact that they continually put it in this religious sense is ridiculous. Moving on, it says the act of dedicating something to a cause, enterprise, or activity. The act of devoting. The fact or state of being ardently dedicated and loyal. What would it look like if we were all actively in a state of ardent dedication and loyalty to our self-control, to ourselves? What if we were to dedicate something to our own self-control? What if we took up a cause of self-control, an enterprise of self-control? What if we dedicated our time, our emotions, our energy to the cause of self-control? Let's look at over here in Cambridge Dictionary. Loyalty and love or care of someone or something. What if you were loyal to yourself? What if you loved and took care of yourself? Of course, the fact that the following of religious teachings, yes, of course, we see that. Support and affection. Support and affection. What if you supported your self-control? What if you supported yourself in controlling the way that you reacted to things, supported the things that you believe, supported the way that you react to things, your control over your own reactions? So now let's look at the etymology of devotion. Of course, we're going to start with the religious stuff. Profound religious emotion, awe, reverence, devotion, piety. It says the noun of action from past particle, which is dedicate by vow, sacrifice oneself, promise solemnly. The act of religious worship, religious exercise. The act of consecrating by a vow. We have loyalty, fealty, allegiance. It talks about devotion to God. And the application to secular situations comes to English via Italian and French, which is the sense of act of setting apart or consecrating. Which I want to focus on loyalty, allegiance, and the act of setting apart. If you're having a problem with discipline, which I have a problem with discipline, it is hard for me to work up the motivation to be disciplined in meditation. It is difficult for me to work up the willingness to be disciplined in exercise, because I am tying it with this word that has felt to me completely too demanding, too rigid, too inflexible. When I change it from being loyal, from that control of, that demanding expectation, and I change it to the loyalty that I have to controlling myself, the allegiance that I have to setting myself apart in my authentic form, building up my own allegiance to myself, that completely changes the game for me, because I'm changing the word that I am using. Where's my mouse? I can't even see my mouse right now. Okay. I'm completely changing the word that I am using. And I'm not saying that any of the definitions that you guys had before were wrong. That is not at all, because everyone has their own interpretations of these words. When we look at the words, where they come from, what they have meant, what they have evolved into, and the connotations that are connected to them, each person has their own perspective. And from my perspective, looking at it this way gives me so much more control over myself, right? I have more emotional capacity and energy to put something towards it, because I am choosing devotion to my self-control. I'm giving myself control over my own ability to conduct myself, my own restraint. You guys hear that? What is that? An airplane? Let me check the chat. Like I said, I wish I was disciplined in other things. Oh, what's up, Soul Chariot? Much love, sis. Good to see ya. Long time no see. Billingtano says, having discipline is to a certain end. I get up at 4:30 because I have discipline, but I do that to keep my job. Yeah, right? Yeah, that's not really, I mean, you do have discipline. Yes, I agree, but like you said, you're doing that because you are disciplined to someone else. It's because you're obligated to someone else, not because you're obligated to yourself. If you were say that you get up at 4:30 a.m. because you want to meditate, that has something to do with you, not with someone else outside of you. Liz says that I'm my own worst enemy at times. Girl, we are all our own worst enemy. Oh, what's up, Tony? Much love. He says they use a lot of those words in the John Wick movies. John Wick. Funny. I didn't watch the last one for sure. But I was into those movies at the beginning. Liz says that she feels me. She says me too. So what are you? Oh, I've got somebody on Instagram. I don't know if they're still here now. Adri Sushi. Much love, friend. Thanks for dropping a comment. I need to eat and pay rent, so I do it for me. These are the terms I've agreed to. I've achieved my food and rent money. I hear that, bro. I hear that. We all got to eat. We all got to pay rent. Well, or pay mortgage or something. You know, we all have obligations. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, Tony. So you guys get what I'm trying to say. I feel like, you know, I spend so much time beating up myself up for not being X, Y, and Z, for being one way or another. And in reality, I'm not lazy. I'm not unmotivated. It's the fact that I have to change my perspective for myself in order to get the result that I need. Yes, I have obligations, but if I am doing things because of the obligations that I have to others, but not to me, it's not going to resonate, it's not going to stick. And I want to have a more long lasting effect, right? Because meditation, eating right, exercising, these are all things that affect me, my body, my temple, my mentality, my energy, my emotions. And if I can't be loyal to myself before I'm loyal to somebody else, then the loyalty that I give to somebody else is going to be shallow, because I don't even have that trust in myself. I don't even have that devotion in myself. And, I feel like when I was working and I was, getting up for someone else, it was like, you know, it was more draining, because the reason that I was doing it was shallow. Money. I don't come at me. Yes, I understand. We all need money to live in the society that we're in, because the society that we're in is not resource based. It is not about the well-being of the community, the well-being of others. It's all about the commodity. It's all about profit. It's all about, competition, right? So there are rules that we have to play by in order to survive in the system that we're in. The system that we're in is broken. We can all agree on that. We can all agree on that. The obligations that we have to the system are completely unfulfilling, because if you're just I had this job just so that I could pay my bills, just so that I could pay my car insurance, right? It brought me no satisfaction whatsoever. And I was spending my time, and I didn't feel like I didn't have time for anything else. I did not have time for anything else. And had I kept that job, I would have been forced to sacrifice more of myself in some instances in order to reach the level that I wanted to be at. Working 6 days a week, um, you know, it was difficult. It was bottom, it was wear and tear on my body, right? Like, it wasn't like I was just sitting at a desk. Those jobs are easier on your body, but they aren't necessarily, easier mentally. But for this type of job that I had, it was hard on the body. It was completely draining and tiring, and I I did not possess the devotion to the job to want to do it. You know, I wasn't loyal to it. I was loyal to it. I was obligated to it because it was of the outcome that I got, right? And the outcome that I got wasn't even what I really wanted from it. I wanted to be able to pay my bills. Like, do you see the disconnect that I'm trying to put out there? Um, oh my gosh, that's awful, Angela. the only thing that I want to pledge fealty to is my own self control, my own self development, my own my own destiny, right? Um, and as an ex people pleaser, that is difficult because I had been living my life to the point where, as if it was for other people. It was my job was to make other people comfortable. And as a woman, oftentimes we are conditioned to believe that our place is for others. And, women are not allowed to be selfish, you know. Um, and doing things, you know, I know I mentioned a lot of time about motivation because I do believe that, you do need to be motivated to do things, but motivation is fleeting. And if I don't have the motivation for discipline, then I don't need motivation for devotion. If I'm devoted to myself, if I'm devoted to my own self control, to my own development, then I don't need to be motivated to do that because I'm devoted to moving myself forward. I'm devoted to the choices that I've made. I'm devoted to exercising and building my muscle of self control. Yeah, Sue, 6 days a week is a lot. 6 days a week is a lot. And, you know, I would have done it, but it would have completely drained me. And I could not get behind the women who worked there, and they, didn't want to move away, you know, too far because they wanted to keep the job, right? Because, it's such a good job, it pays so good, you know, but it's the job didn't allow them breaks. It's not that there weren't breaks, right? But and if in a 6 to 8 hour workday, if you're only taking a 10 to 20 max minute break in the day doing all this physical labor, how in the world are you surviving? Right? It's like it's so important to get this place clean, to get this job done, that I'm not even stopping to take care of my own self, or I'm barely stopping. I mean, I'm sorry. 4 hours of work, I need a break. I need more than 15 minutes. Give me 30 minutes at least. And, he didn't, they weren't ever required to break, to clock out for break. But if you were going to clock out for break, 30 minutes or more, you needed, like, if you were going to take a break that was at 30 minutes or more, you needed to clock out, right? But he never, said you have to clock out at this time. But the work ethic with the ladies that I worked with, it was like you were just working all day and you barely took time to scarf down your protein bar or whatever snack you had, right? Like, taking a 5 minute breather is nothing. It's nothing. Um, I couldn't jive. I couldn't jive. And he, the owner probably saw that for me in the beginning, regardless of how good the work I did. Um, I wasn't about to sacrifice my own health. And if you require me to sacrifice my health because you need me to be able to clean more units, um, you know, in a shorter amount of time, the job wasn't for me. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. But yeah, that those were my thoughts on discipline versus devotion. And too, as a woman who was raised in the Southern Baptist home, I was disciplined, and it's hard to change the outlook. Like, of course, for children who have been disciplined, I'm not saying that I was disciplined severely or I was traumatized or anything like that, because I still, like, you have to correct your children when they do something wrong, right? Like, there's just no way around it. But when you have a perception of a word from childhood, it is very difficult to change your perspective. Not impossible, but difficult to change your perspective on that word. So you need to be able to find other ways to incentivize yourself when it comes to changing your perspective, right? Yeah, Liz says employers take advantage of people's work ethic. A lot of them do. A lot of them do. So, I am grateful for the turn of events. I'm grateful for where I am in life. I'm grateful for the experiences that I've had, and I look forward to continuing to grow and become devoted to myself. Like, I'm never going to stop growing. I'm never going to stop learning. And I'm always going to be devoted to myself. And it might sound selfish, and I think it's supposed to, it is what it is. It is what it is. I feel like there's too much at stake, for me to be spending my time devoted to anything else. And, my devotion will eventually turn into discipline. It will look like I have discipline, but my method of getting there is going to be completely different, completely and totally different. Yeah, guys. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I feel like it's important for us to redefine terminology and define the specific terminology that works for us, because words are spells, especially in the English language. And we have to be super extra vigilant about the words that we speak over ourselves, the words that we speak over others, the words that we use to reference and refer to others. It matters. Every single word that we say matters. And choosing words with care is just one of the many ways that we can, exhibit and use our divine sovereignty in this reality. And it is so important that we speak from our divine sovereignty every single day, every time we open our mouths. So many times we say things and we just say them just to say them, and we say them without thought. But we have to take every thought captive. That's a verse in the Bible. Take every thought captive. Be in control of your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts come to you, but you can be in control of them. You are the one who gets to decide what thoughts take root, what action you take on what thoughts, right? So if you take every thought captive, take every word captive, and knowing that when you speak this word, it is carrying divine sovereign weight. It matters. You're saying something that matters. Rye agrees with me. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. And I didn't really, expect this live to be this weighty. But this is when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. Like, these are thoughts that I've had for myself, and I'm just sharing them with you guys. Being vulnerable, being authentic, not scripting what I say, and just showing up in the energy that I am currently in right now. And, if I continue to show up for these Freak Speak Fridays, you will see me evolve. You will see me grow, because that is what we are. We are evolving, growing creatures. And, maybe 6 months, a year, maybe I'll have a different outlook on specifically the word discipline, right? Maybe I will have another word other than devotion, right? We're allowed to change, we're allowed to evolve, we're allowed to grow. And if you ever decide that you have reached pinnacle, that you have learned everything that you can, then that you've hit a ceiling. If there's a ceiling and you feel like you've hit it and there's not a ceiling after that, that's when you start decaying. So I never plan on growing up. Even though I plan on growing, I never plan on growing up. And when I hit whatever level that is the ceiling that I have for me right now, I'm going to shoot for the next ceiling. I'm never going to stop growing. I'm never going to be grown up. I'm never going to reach the pinnacle, because I can always grow more. Liz says, we have been programmed to forget who we really are. Our shadow side can derail us, even with our best intentions. It's a process to not believe our limiting thoughts. I 100% agree, Liz. It is completely a process. But the fact that you're aware of it means that the process is progressing, right? The process never ends. It is a never ending process. Because we were always going to have thoughts. That means the process will never end. It's all about exercising and building the muscle in the moment, that is you catching this thought and saying, this thought doesn't serve me, or this thought doesn't define me, or moving on. Whatever words you need to use to know that your thoughts, you choosing your thoughts, you in control of your thoughts, right? And Jonna says that we learn and grow from our trials and errors. Exactly. I feel like because of competition, because of the water, the fountain is spraying because the wind took a turn. Hopefully it's not getting on my computer. Because of competition, because of standardized testing, because of X, Y, and Z, we are afraid to make mistakes. We're afraid to fail. We're afraid to experiment. We're scared to say the wrong thing, when in reality, it is how we grow and learn, right? Trial and error. If you hit an error, it just means you need to pivot. You learn something from your trials, you learn something from your errors. And if you don't learn something, you're gonna make the same mistake again. You're gonna continue to make that same mistake until you get a different result, right? That's what lessons are all about. We learn the same lesson over and over again until we get the desired result. Jonna says, this thought doesn't belong to me. 100%. 100%. I love it. Um, I'm trying to think of it if there's any other thoughts. Jana says perfectionism is a mind fuck. If you do your best, it will likely be much better than others' perfection. 100%. Yeah, perfectionism is an illusion. We are all perfectly imperfect. And yeah, we have been conditioned to believe that we need to shoot for perfectionism when you do your best, you're likely better to do it than someone who's trying to be perfect. I love it, Jana. That should be on a t-shirt. um, yeah, the truth is we all need to be devoted to something. We all need to exhibit self-control. And we all need to choose where our loyalties lie consciously. Doing things unconsciously is what leads to stagnation, is what leads to um, miscommunication, choosing things that are not good for us. Because, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. We've all heard that saying. Um, so we have to be loyal to something. And if you're going to be loyal to anything, if you're going to be devoted to anything, be devoted to your word, be devoted to your worldview, and be devoted to growing and learning and changing. I feel like it is a mistake to say that you're never going to change your mind, or you're never going to change your stance, or that you're not open-minded. I think it's a mistake to be biased. um, we have to be open to being wrong. We have to be open to learning more. Um, but you still have to be loyal to your own intuition, right? If something doesn't resonate with you, um, not damning it, but just saying it doesn't resonate with me and moving on, right? Just because it doesn't resonate with you doesn't mean it doesn't resonate for somebody else, right? Angela says loyalty to the soil, loyalty to Mother Earth. Um, Actually, I'm coming to the idea or the realization that it might be Daughter Earth, because if we're changing um, from patriarchy to matriarchy, then it would be Mother Universe, Daughter Earth, Mother Universe, Father Spirit, and Father Air, and Son Spirit. So being loyal to the earth, however you want to personify it, to nature, to trees, to we're supposed to be we are the micro of the macro, and nature mirrors us. We mirror nature. Being loyal to that, being loyal to whatever the fuck you want to be loyal to, choosing that's what matters. Jonna says supposedly the ability to hold two separate thoughts in equal space is the highest possible form of human intelligence. I love it. I love it. I feel like, I've heard that there are like like we do have two minds. Like we have, I don't even know what the terminologies are, but you're supposed to find that middle space. Maybe it's the past and the future, maybe the thoughts of the past and the future, but you're supposed to be in the middle, right? And that what you're trying to say is, when you can see both thoughts that are coming to you and you're just the observer, you can observe both at once. Yeah, that would be like the height of enlightenment, right? Liz says it does feel like times are changing. We have to adapt to that, which might not be easy to begin with. Yeah, times are changing. I agree with that. And I think it's important to learn and understand the game in order to exit the game, right? In order to set ourselves up for success outside of the system, outside of the game, we have to understand the game that's being played against us and the position that, people have taken against us. Uh, by Carmel Mind. Did I say that right, Jonna? Sue wants to know if he heard about David Wilcock. Tell us about David Wilcock, Sue. So, I think I'm gonna do the dance party at 12:12, but that those are pretty much all of my thoughts that I have, that I think I want to share today. Um, but I'm still gonna do my dance party, and there are people around, there are students around, and we're gonna do it again. But my encouragement for you this week will be to two things. Will be choosing your words wisely, speaking your words with intention, and finding the thing that you can be devoted and loyal to. Oh gosh, he shot himself, huh? Or did he shoot himself? That too. David Wilcock sounds familiar, but I'm not even gonna lie. I can't place him right now. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, it was probably faked. Or no, you said they probably faked his death. Okay. Yes, Angela, I agree. Create something. Oh, he was a UFO researcher? Allegedly. There it is, Billy Tano. Allegedly. But yeah, no, I agree, because what Angela said, create something. When you create, you're changing the world. Literally, when you create, you're changing the world, whether it's something little, something just for you, something for someone else, a gift, whether you're just writing a sentence in your journal, whether you draw a picture of a stick figure, whether you create a whole entire, system of, resources, or a community. It doesn't matter. Whenever you create something, it changes the world. Oh my gosh. He said he was the reincarnation of Edgar Casey. What? Okay. Cammy says that she and Bob met David. Oh wow, that's pretty cool, Cammy. Blue Chicken Cult with Corey Gold, the Mars and Back dudes. Sue also met him in 2019. There's a lot of sketchy stuff going on, y'all. For real. For real. For real. keep your intuition about you, keep your wits about you. Remember that anything in the news is a distraction, and it's all a play, all of the world's a stage. Um, yeah, and that's all I got to say about that. All right, so we've got 1 minute. So I'm going to turn the camera back over here because I'm going to dance over here. I'm going to take my headphones out, hear the music, and we are going to prepare. Oh, if I can see, we're going to prepare for our dance party. All right, guys, here we go.
It's a dance party. It's Arielle's dance party. Dance, 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 dance. It's a dance party. It's Arielle's dance party. Dance, 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 It's Arielle's dance party. It's Arielle's dance party. It's Arielle's dance party. It's Arielle's dance party. It's a dance party. It's Arielle's dance party. Dance, 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 dance. It's Arielle's dance party. Dance, 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 dance. It's a dance party. It's Arielle's dance party. Dance, 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 dance,
Hey! Dance party! Arielle, we all dancing? Y'all better be dancing. Thank you, Sue. I am brave for dancing out here by myself. But it's good to get me outside of my comfort zone. And that's funny. Russ's last comment got censored. That's funny. I didn't even see it. Yes, I love it. Angela says she and her doggy were dancing. I love it. You guys have got to dance and celebrate That is how we raise the vibration in the world, man. Raise that vibration. So give me 1 second here. Da, 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 da. All right. All right, my friend. You are the change that you want. You have an amazing dream. I know. You are incredible. You are unique. You are a unique frequency in this world. We need your uniqueness. We need to hear your perspective. We need to hear your beliefs. We need to hear your thoughts. We need to hear your creativity. Even if you think your creativity is stupid, even if you think it doesn't matter, do it anyway. Make your dolls. Carve your statue. Dance. Paint. Sing. Draw. Raise your kids if that's what, whatever. Plant your seeds. Tend your garden. Make a new concoction. Make a new drink. Make some makeup. Do your hair. Play in makeup. Play in putty. Play in clay. Talk to ducks. Make a pond. Do swimming. Do something that makes you happy. Do something that you want to do for fun. Just because you want to do it. It doesn't have to make money. It doesn't have to, bring a profit. It can just bring you joy. It can just bring you pleasure. Find that thing that brings you joy and pleasure. Do it. Do it often. Every day there is something new that you can learn. There's something new that you can share. There's something new that you can bring to the table. Do you know how much value you have? Do you know how much value you have? If you are here, you have value. There is nothing that you can do wrong. You cannot mess this up. Never mess yourself in the mirror and telling yourself how telling yourself that you are enough and you matter, and that whatever you're going to do that day, whether it is a new job, it's going to matter. Every time someone or smile to someone, every time you open your freaking mouth, you know that you send ripples out into the universe. The universe listens to you. The universe is waiting for you to talk to it. Waiting for you to admit your frequency. There's no way for you to admit your frequency wrong, so just do it. Just out there and be yourself, whatever it is that you want to be. I love you so much. It means the world to me that you are here, because if you are here, you're placed here in this timeline, and that we were meant to be. I'm so grateful for your words. I'm so grateful for your insight. I'm so grateful for everything that you teach me. Because when you come here, you can do it too. I'm grateful to be alive at the same time as you. This is all divinely inspired. And this week, live like you are genuinely inspired. You are not made on purpose. You are not made on purpose. You were made on purpose with a purpose. You're here because you matter. You are here because there's something you have to give. You have value. You are worthy. worthy. Until next week, bye bye.